"Sir, I found something." His voice trembled through the phone. "Come to my studio. Don't tell your wife yet. You need to see this first." I remember the silence that followed. It wasn't fear. It was recognition. Somewhere deep inside, I already knew something was wrong. I'd just been too proud to admit it. When I arrived, he didn't speak. He just opened his laptop, double-clicked a folder, and let the truth bleed out frame by frame. It was our wedding, the dance, the laughter, the champagne. But in one corner of the screen, behind the soft glow of fairy lights, my wife's hand wasn't in mine. It was on his shoulder, his hand on her waist. My best friend. My best man. They weren't just smiling. They were looking at each other like we were the ones intruding on their wedding. And just like that, every illusion shattered. We met 5 years ago. She was a graphic designer, all charm and quiet storms. The kind of woman who made you believe peace could have a heartbeat. I was building my firm, working nights, chasing stability. She brought calm into the chaos. Or so I thought. The betrayal didn't happen overnight. It crept in, soft-footed and smiling. She stopped asking how my day was, started locking her phone, laughed at texts she never explained. I told myself she was tired, that I was paranoid, that marriage was just settling dust. Then came the late-night work calls, the new perfume, the distant eyes during dinner. I noticed everything but said nothing. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's a weapon you're still sharpening. The photographer handed me a flash drive. "I wasn't sure if I should show you this," he said. "But you deserved to know." Deserved. The word cut deep. That night, I sat in my office replaying the footage frame by frame until the lie was too complete to ignore. I didn't break anything. I didn't scream. I just opened a notebook and started writing names, dates, patterns. Revenge isn't rage, it's math. I knew they'd keep seeing each other. They always do. Betrayers confuse discretion with intelligence. I gave them both the rope they needed. I stopped questioning her whereabouts. I stopped coming home early. I smiled more. She thought guilt looked good on her. It made her kinder, more affectionate. She didn't realize I'd already begun dismantling everything she stood on. I started with finances. Every asset we shared, the house, the accounts, the investments, quietly became mine again. Legal loopholes are surprisingly generous to those who prepare early. I had the marriage agreement reviewed for tax reasons. She signed without reading. Trust is the most dangerous form of blindness. Then came my best friend, the best man, the one who toasted to our love with wine still warm from deceit. He worked under a client contract I controlled. I didn't confront him. I simply redirected his project one clause at a time until his firm bled cash. By the time he realized the contracts were void, his name was blacklisted quietly through corporate compliance. He thought it was bad luck. I call it poetic symmetry. 3 months later, the affair had lost its excitement. She was restless, irritable. He was unemployed. I watched them unravel from a distance, like two thieves turning on each other after a failed heist. I waited. And then one evening, I left an envelope on the dining table. No words, just photographs. Wedding day. Hotel lobby. Her laughter frozen mid-lie. When she came home, she saw it before she saw me. Her face turned white. Where did you get these?" I didn't answer. I just poured 2 glasses of wine, placed one in front of her, and said, "It's fascinating how pictures tell the truth when people won't." She started to cry, reaching for explanations, for mercy. But I'd already moved past emotion. "I filed the papers," I told her. "You'll receive them tomorrow. Everything's already arranged." She blinked through tears. "You're destroying my life." "No," I said, standing. I'm just returning it to its rightful owner. The next morning, she was gone. Moved out quietly. I didn't follow. Didn't need to. A week later, mutual friends started whispering about her sudden financial troubles, about how her lover's firm collapsed, about how she couldn't find work because her reputation preceded her. I never confirmed anything. I never denied it either. Revenge doesn't always require blood. Sometimes it's silence that strangles. 6 months later, the photographer called again. He said he'd quit weddings altogether, said my story changed the way he saw people. Are you okay now? He asked. I paused, looking out the window at the city that had watched me fall and rise again. I'm better than okay, I said. I'm clean. Because there's a strange peace in closure, not the kind you find in forgiveness, but the kind you build from ruin.